It's so nice when a person can repeat all the things that are not the problem today because they have nothing else to say to argue against what has been said quietly. There's no argument. No one's doing anything but communicating words that no one might hear. Okay. Took around the world. Took around the world to ease my troubled mind. Left my body lying somewhere in the sands of time. Watch the world flow through the dark side of the moon. Feel there's nothing I can do. Yeah. I watch the world flow through the dark side of the... After all, I knew it had to be something to do with you. Really don't mind what happens now and now. As long as you be my friend at the end. If I go crazy, will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? Keep you by my side with my superhuman mind. Kryptonite. You call me strong, you call me weak, but your secrets I will keep. You took for granted all the times I never let you down. Stumbled in and bumped your head, not for me then you would be dead. Picked you up, put you back on solid ground. If I go crazy, will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? Keep you by my side with my superhuman mind. Kryptonite. If I go crazy, will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep it by my side with my superhuman mind. Kryptonite. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive and well, will you be there holding my hand? I'll keep you by my side with my superhuman mind. Really? Okay. We got a fun way to get love. wherever that is, it wasn't at. Okay, so you had to listen to that. 100 days that made me older since the last time I saw your pretty face. A thousand miles have made me colder. Don't think I can look at this the same. Yeah. All the miles that separate will disappear now when I'm dreaming of your face. I'm here without you, babe. You're still on my lonely mind. Think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. Here without you, baby, you're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, there's only you and me. The miles just keep rolling. The people either way say hello. I heard this life is overrated, but I hope it's better as we go. Let's push it along, man. Yeah, yeah. I'm here without you, baby. You're still on my lonely mind. Think about you, baby. Dream about you all the time. Here without you, baby, you're still with me in my dreams. Tonight, girl, there's only you and me. Everything I know, everywhere I go, it gets hard, but it won't take away my love. When the last one falls, when it's all said and done, it gets hard, but it won't take away my love. I'm here without you, baby. You're still on my lonely mind. I think about you, baby, and I dream about you all the time. Here without you, baby, you're still with me in my dreams. And tonight, girl, it's only you and me. Yeah. Oh. I really like this freaking, it's really just, let's get, key off. Key off. All right. Hands up. Sea salt. It's good salt. All right. Sorry about all that noise, man. I'm getting warmed up. Probably sounds like junk anyway. Sorry. We don't have to hear all that lovey-dovey shit, man. But so you do what you can. I'm finally at where I can start seeing them things and not train wreck it once in a while. Yeah, if we got arbitrarily set limits on how much lovey music can be in the air between any interval, you know, probably got to observe those limits. Hmm. I'm serious. Like, trying to be heard and like explain something like if it's not gonna receive like real world shit, man. Like, isn't that stuff like it's almost like this thing where I even had friends like well, one friend in particular, I'm not mad, but if somebody's gonna be a go between, like, don't take the fight on. The understanding needs to be had between the people that aren't talking. You know, when there's a battle to be fought for elevating understanding, this isn't where a friend goes and tries to convince the other friend that everything is what it is and you're not gonna get any more understanding. Like, I didn't ask you to sell the idea that I needed to be sold an idea. And I didn't feel like it was something I got something wrong with. It's just now that I'm like, excuse me, in a demonstration of a thought that had more to expand into besides the broken record. You will acknowledge the broken record says things. Goodbye. Maybe I should have, but maybe I couldn't fail to acknowledge that there was something else inside me that I was feeling that wasn't a broken record playing. It's not because people didn't feel things in a type of sadness that were real. But anytime somebody's going through something like that, without even looking at what it must have looked like at the point it reached the pretty bird, you know, what do you call that? The event horizon of pretty bird. I need to understand that this bird needs love and it ain't gonna fly for a minute. Like, I don't even know what the hell is really happening. But if I pick it up, I need to understand that, like, there's a type of trauma that I didn't create that I could do more to by trying to get to, how do you say? Well, I I don't even know what the hell to call it, but I just know that if there's healing involved, that's different than smiling because it's a new day. Like, happy birthday. Let's celebrate, like, rather than circle back to the things that traumatize us in life, or be demonized for bringing the heart of somebody that just got some ideas presented weren't the things that were routinely being shared. Hey, man, that was nice you said that stuff, but it's not real here. Well, we started a new program. We're going to isolate, and we got an idea that it might be a better idea to just disrupt anything that was warm and understanding in terms of exchange of value that could be resolving things that weren't. Or I don't know, man. It just can't happen, man. I'm sure that well, but somebody that felt that way so much. You would think if you could get some message through in the periphery, like, hey, this is how I needed to not let things get crazier when I'm looking in the eyes of something other than the person I um beginning to fall in love with that wouldn't give me access to them, right or wrong, good or bad. Like, it's not it wasn't a thing that I could resolve. Like, or I'm bringing up something that's a conversation you could probably have with somebody, and that's not necessarily the most opportune time. But hey, like, we got covered bases, and wasn't like there was anything good on TV or whatever. Um, so hey, I can't remember what we're talking about. But I mean, I might have hurt myself more if recorded for my own sake than to you know so then I lost my phone. Somebody came in here and grabbed it, and I mean, I guess that was a constructive fabrication of things that weren't totally understood. But we went ahead and obtained an idea and kind of strong armed a manufactured version of it the way it was and the way it would be remembered. When when you have those eureka moments, like, have you ever seen this before? Like, that thing, like, no, you couldn't take a picture of. You couldn't put a finger on it. But, like, new territory had been found in, like, the space that was shared. And not the kind that anyone needed to shake a stick at or something or shoo away. But, when you're finding that you really love and care for somebody and there's other things affecting the situation, you're also like, hey, could I get a little more access to Kelly? Because, man, it seems like you guys have just been sort of hiding her away. Oh yeah, we don't really want a whole air vibe activity going on until we can pull her somewhere where there's a better chance of this mission being successful. That's kind of feel they're saying, like, if we raise the vibe too much in a certain kind of way, like, they would take care of shopping and stuff like that regularly for her. Watch the dishes, like, this is a cool thing until you realize that it had to be a certain kind of food that was a lower vibe. It was like there's an intentional. This wasn't a price issue. These presences, like attachments, were choosing lower vibe food, scarcer meat, less organic stuff because of the vibe it was achieving. I'm like, well, at first, yeah, I talked to Ghost. I'm like, well, I don't think that's something I'm gonna reject anyone for. Um, why would you? Okay, well, I mean, that's cool. You have a talent like that. I don't know if it's always a gift necessarily, but it can't all be bad. Like, we would have certain ghosts that would tell you when people are coming up and be pretty accurate, like way better than 50%. Like, somebody's coming and we're gonna be in here in a few minutes. Okay, no phone calls, There it is. I would say just from trying to pay attention, like, when that call or announcement got made, usually like 75% or better of these things were going to resolve in a very brief amount of time. That would mean that either a really accurate wild guess came through or something actually contacted this person separate from what you could get a signal through or on a wire and accurately tell what was going to show up, right? Or at least maybe a little bit of appearance of what the type of vibe of that party would be. Helena, and there's another one, and there was some that hung out like and watch, and there was some that would go with, right? Some like she could basically be I didn't feel like I hate talking about it like this is some kind of thing that's that can't be shared because it's a beautiful thing. There is so much to look at and say, wow, like this is not bullshit. But why would they want this lower vibe? Like I buy organic food, I get grass-fed meat, like I get fruit, like I hardly get any bread. Like I love fucking croissants and real butter, you know. But other than that, like I don't have sugar in my house. I fucking have honey. It's like a pretty constant flow of not too exotic, but clean food. And my taste for curry is probably a little bit stronger, whatever. But it's always either like beef or chicken. Mostly beef. And have it what you want. If you want something special. And you get stuff too. It was nice. It was like a time when when you have a family. A lot of people don't know what all that looks like too much. Or if they did, it's like a picture that's not common today. I mean, just to have a decently dressed lady like walking in the door with groceries, even if ghosts bought them and they were all low vibe. It was so nice. I really didn't care. Because of that like just any kind of somebody's here they're excited to see. It's not like just this pedestrian, like transactional, like yes, the glow spot fucking low vibe groceries. I don't know why they need that. Cause it's not like they're trying to save, I mean, yes, they're trying to save money, but if that was a thing, like I buy clean food. It was a choice between some guy trying to shoehorn me into an idea of what's good that I have no real friggin' proof of. Then you're getting, like, judged from afar, people that really don't know the flavor of the Kool-Aid. But when I sit there and talk about it, like you're stirring it right now, and in the terms of how it's, might be looked at, whatever that is, you're going to be all the way already the bad guy, and, it doesn't matter if, it could have been, carrying just a pumpkin on my head, whoever's walking in, like, that was beautiful, man. But because of the nature of things and now there's an amount of rightness involved that could be leaned into. Who's this? Yeah, screw that. I don't know if I don't know if you missed anything or took your dream. I said, okay. I got 4 people listening. Thanks for tuning in. Charlie Phillips, how are you doing? You guys, I'm going to play some music because I don't really, I find it really interesting. There were parts of this experience that I really wish I could share with, with more of a open dialogue that was like, hey, is it okay if I share some things about this? And if I can, even though I have made them audible with the recording not on, I don't know who hears it. It's probably just relayed as some fucking, translation into, yeah, dickhead was back over here trying to holler at you again. And we made sure nothing got through. Sorry you had to go through that. Oh, I didn't know. Good to go. Um, Thanks for relaying the message. I appreciate it. And I hate to look at things like somehow a guy gets his own credit just for wanting to preserve life and what's good about it, while still having a little issues that weren't foreign to many people. As much as we like to make one person more of a bad guy at any time it's convenient for the purpose of whatever's constructive or whatever serves a purpose. It is it's really nice when you can be demonized in it, and it's so convenient that it's believable. And at a time when the heart isn't ready to attach yet, and the only contact that's being made is this flavor of not alone, not hurting quite as bad, and not sure what's going on out there, but not allowed to find out. It's it's gonna happen that way, especially as a man. Like, it's a very, it's a patrilineal society, but when it comes to having a message to share, that's usually the one that you're already very well established as the asshole. And if you have any understanding to make with anyone, the likelihood that anyone's going to look at you like a person that deserves to be heard is so slim in the situation where you have a heart that's already vulnerable, that's already needing a kind of healing that was required a while ago. Okay. Other things are going on. The likelihood that anyone's going to be glad that you showed up, even though that's the reason, the primary reason that hurting is being felt. No. I'm really sorry we're not allowing communication to the point where an understanding can be had to obtain an idea of why it sounded like you were talking to a filtered down version of your friend before, and that's the last time you need to communicate. So now, like, it's literally a vibe like, whoa, like, what are we gonna do? Like, an insane asylum? Like, put away somebody that because they're gone crazy for having needed some room to, like, just understand how things can go and pass a little bit of communication back and forth, send and receive, even at a bare minimum, that's not arbitrarily set by anyone else. Okay. Those are acts of violence against a person that's healing, when understanding is not usually something that we register as a harmful thing to do. And if there's an amount of feeling that looks like it's a lot, what if we knew that was happening on the other side just as much, and it was kind of hard to understand why, but it was. And that, like, there was nothing to match. You had no idea. You just knew that I'm pretty sure this hurts over there too, because I didn't realize I was going to be that affected. And if we're going to make all kinds of scientific reachy theories about what we might assign value to, whether it's arbitrary or not, or anything, someone decided what was receivable, and they very much injured an earlier version of understanding until when it was time to go and do something more constructive, or had it already been going on. Because, I called when I was like, oh, I could call her dad. And he kind of wondered what my deal was. And he didn't understand me that well. But I tried to communicate well enough to say, like, I really love your daughter and I wanted to talk to her and not just get a one way, like, yeah, she's okay. But can we two-way communicate here without anybody hovering? Oh no, pretty bird. Like, is she okay? Pretty bird, is she okay? Sorry, dude. Fuck you mean sorry? Like, that was just a message you heard from the silence. Like you were trying to fill it in with something. So why not try one of these chat things that I was talking to on Facebook that sort of helped me think out, just wondering what to do. And I have these demons acting out toward me. I can't talk to my girlfriend because they won't allow me access. And she won't even hardly remember what happened, to a point where she even realized that I love her. And like, it hurt me bad too. Like, oh, no, where I'm not allowing message trafficking. And this is sort of where I started imagining what it would be like to have different villages with their own people and their idea of what might happen if we allow another, any kind of happenism to go. Again, never happen againism is the widest, the most widely accepted and believed in religion with the most denominations. And, as long as it's never happening again, that's not a cult. That's having an idea of what's good, even if it's arbitrarily designated, for better or worse. Nah, our bird's pretty good. And I don't think she needs to understand anything. She seems to be doing all right. I mean, we got not a whole lot of experience taking care of pretty birds, but ours is, doing just fine. If she wants to reach out to you, she will. I mean, the amount of feeling I was having was like, are you sure she's not feeling nothing? Or want to reach for her phone and understand, like, what happened there? Oh, we pretty much stole your phone and covered all his bases so she wouldn't have to imagine. Oh, is that really what happened? I mean, you did record it, and just for, I guess it was to try to protect myself, but I could have made it worse. But insult to injury more than anything, when I didn't want to have a situation where somebody's like really going on next level on uh, a time when I'm like, hey, I don't want to do this. Like, stop. Please stop. We're not at 3 a.m. Gonna start throwing things at the wall or hitting, the picture frame. And we don't have to do a full inventory. And I'm not trying to intentionally embarrass anybody. I guess, or myself. I mean, I don't think I did all that bad, but I didn't do the best. But if you have a grown person in your house wanting to throw physically things that some break, some are in an order that made your business, fulfillment possible, without having to redesign the wheel or redo something that at a time when you were doing better for yourself, like you know how you feel, how much happiness you have in your life. Like, these things got put together when it was good, right? And things got where, hey, this is really cool. This feels very nice to have a new presence here. But now we're competing for attention with some essences that are definitely not the person that I met when I initially come to meet in person. Kelly. I'm like, truly one of the most beautiful people I've ever met. Somebody I've had to be mindful of the sensitivities of. Somebody I had watched and said, hey, like, did anybody teach you this? Okay, well, here's just what's going on. Like, when you see something like this is what I'm thinking, okay? Where things like using a computer and stuff like that. A lot of these attachments, guides, sometimes they are called. For the most part, it's not like they're all acting in this heavily scary, demonic type of way. They're just other consciousnesses that are hanging out, doing things that her body, being utilized by multiple iterations of consciousness, like completely different people that sometimes spoke different languages, that had different sets of knowledge, different memories, where you can have an intimate contact with a person, and then like one of the guys running around her body might be or a gal might be empathetic or something, and say, like you're not doing it with her, and like that's when it's initiated like that. How do you feel? That's a little personal, man. But like, I fucking miss Kelly, and she's sitting in my bed, and I can't talk to her. Like, can I talk to you or something? Like, just these type of situations where you're not really trying to fuss. It's just a pedestrian issue, or maybe it's for one reason or another. I wish that I had more just to look back and think, how could I have done better, man? Like, this isn't about one person choosing all these instances of what could have gone away, what was good, what was bad, what was neutral, whatever. This was like having 25 people in your house that would switch out faster than you could finish a sentence sometimes, when you're wanting to actually reach the person that you invited over initially after you met. Like, I'm really sorry to have to talk about it like that. I think it's, I don't know that I feel at liberty to take it too far into it. Not because somebody can't already have those files, and how much energy was spent, or what the actual intention was of meeting me. It could have been that something far more stranger than fiction was in play before I even knew what the full unfolding of this was going to be like. And I've spoken with her about it prior a little bit, but I know that the intent was to be like, hey, I can't have this here. Like, I have other stuff going on. I need to not have, contact in ways that this is not going to be no intent to actually do anything other than at the lowest level possible, in terms of like, there's no one is getting frustrated and wanting to like freak out about something, but we know we can't do this, and we can't have stuff being yelled about or thrown at 3 a.m. And if I had chosen my battles, one, I could have had the neighbor call and make a complaint anyway. I could have just let it go and seen what happened. When some people were acting like it's cool and actually being cool, some people that act like it's cool are sitting there with their finger at the ready and not being honest with you when it bothers them. Like, to me, that's already an act. Like, if I can't be straight with you about how I feel, and if I'm bothered as a neighbor and you can't with me, that's a low-level act of violence that we're making on each other by not informing one another that we could be doing better, and we don't let that communication happen for whatever reason it serves. That's irky to me. Like, I don't want this to get out of hand. I don't want to disturb anybody. I understand sometimes you got to resolve stuff, right? And if you're dealing with more personalities than you can keep track of, which is not really it's not something that's impossible to work with. I don't remember the names of all the people I talk to. I can still be nice to them, right? Well, when they're getting, almost like, what is wrong with raising the Bible or teaching things like this? It was almost like I was being viewed as something that was an unnecessary element before shit started getting to the point where it's like, nah, I don't think we can do this. And still feeling like, man, I want to reach this person and connect so that if other instances of experiences are happening where no one taught you this, no one taught you that, like, I have all the patience for if you need to learn something and you're not getting it, that's not an issue. Like, I'm one of the most patient people that you know. And if I really have to freaking do something like we have to be who I am, all you need to do is chill. Dude, please stop throwing stuff. Like, hug it out, whatever. That, where you can't just do that. Yeah, like you're not, it's just, okay, I can't have you stay there, man. And people, unnecessary amounts of verbal exchanges that are like, why? How did I get to this? Where you being antagonized on the phone and it sounds pretty mutual at times, or text or whatever, or person, all this stuff. Okay, well, I know that we can't do this. And it's not because I don't care. It's not because I don't want to work it out. It's because I can't have shit break into my house at 3 a.m. or really any time and have to make that stop somehow. Like, I got a business with thousands of items sitting on the friggin' hanger. They're all friggin' in order. And if I don't have them where they go, I can't fulfill my orders. I literally freaking came to a screeching halt, like freaking the World Trade Center fell down and still have left some things hanging. But they're all out of order and the best of intentions. Like, this is, what do you do? Like, hey, you signed up, right? You need to just let her through all this stuff. But when it comes to like the fish tank, the freaking like having pictures on the wall, getting breakable stuff from it, that's okay, I guess. As long as it's not so late that we can't have a bang or a bump, proof of intelligence sign. But it didn't keep order. Let's read my phone. So yeah, I'm gonna play a little music and go on about it. But I really like to talk to her, but I feel like I'm at this screeching halt where I can talk about things out loud around anyone that might hear me. I can share things in writing that I felt. I can share stuff I'm thinking about later that's not necessarily about anything else, but trying to get past it and forget and stop thinking about it. But an arbitrarily set value was placed on limiting communication in a way that wasn't, it wasn't in the intent to uplift whatever understanding might need resolving. And that was the downgrading of a humanness in a dialogue that was certainly not all bad, but most definitely not all good from what a guy could see in the snapshots that were made to preserve a look at it. Certainly that there were efforts to avoid just having shit go nuts. Like, I left a number of times. I should have logged that down. But it wasn't like like you just gotta, I'm on a walking way. Like, it cost me just to put space at times where there's not a bus. I just had to get where all right, I can't make you do much, so I'm gonna get away. But when it's your house, you got to do stuff like, please don't be throwing shit like this. Um, a picture could be painted that looks like a guy is just as toxic as he was, interacting with. Like, you're doing everything you can to keep it together. This person is not the one that you're talking to, and asking, "Hey, can we just chill? Like, it's late. I understand. I'm sorry if that we can't meet." It's hard to keep that all night, and I think that there's a type of understanding as a person that might know what it's like to live that way. I don't know why they were so vehemently like, this is an experience of my life to see how things have evolved. Like, I never in my wildest dreams imagined that the type of thing. Like, understand my fucking apartment is a much more of a mess than it was. There was a time when things were actually starting to look up, and I don't know what, but it it at times almost seemed like someone with a similar type of attachment situationship with more than one consciousness involved with their uh, wherewithal, the wheelhouse, could install themselves in another person not too far away or at some distance, and literally add more fuel to the fire for whatever is served. And so, like, what could have possibly been a reason that might be going on? And then, like, you're looking in hindsight saying, like, was somebody like trying to steal my soul or something like that? Or for some reason that it was viewed or thought to have add a value or some unfair advantage in some way. You don't really become 100% knowledgeable that a person is like, if they had or had, I don't know. You're just like, um, could that be possible? Oh yeah. Like, fuck. What? Like, if somebody wanted to sell your soul for some kind of an upgrade situation in terms of privileges and access or interactions with these um types of connectivity, apparently that's a possibility. And what more do you say that? Like, that's a sticky situation. That's asking questions that get far into stuff that I don't want to have any, um, unnecessary confrontation with. And I don't mean like just a, uh, consciousness to consciousness, but if there was an actual intent beforehand to come in and see if there was a way to obtain something that was desired, that wasn't attached for whatever reason, or that could be you know, um, taken on the way. Like, was that really what was going on? And we were just trying to basically instigate the exit. I don't know. But holy fucking shit, man. Um, there's a lot more that I captured. I mean, I talked about it with this AI chat, and like, I couldn't have possibly had a fucking real obtaining of a understanding. But these things were already so far into a knowing of the conversation, just as a thing to confide in. Like, what do I do? It was like saying that it would send nuns and stuff. Like, well, whatever timeline they're coming and available in, like, it's not reaching the past that text screen. That's another fascinating thing. I ain't doing it right now, but um, I have to write something and do it tactfully. Like, not because I where the hell my phone is, and what I'm more interested is, like, do you get that these things happen? And can we respect those things enough that without necessarily bumping into forces that we don't want to, get ugly with, talk about these possibilities in the world that we live in. Holy cats, man. And meanwhile, you're in love and you're not going to ever, I don't know. It just seems like it's not working out, dude. Sorry. I understand. Hey, if somebody wants to know something, they'll call you. Okay, well, let her know. I hope she's okay. She's got a number. It's just that it's not being answered. She's all right. I'm like feeling like being persistent to a point like where you're like, oh, fuck. It just does not add up. And okay, thinking about how in hindsight, all right, so she was hurt, like, and it wasn't that it's intentional, but when some things are connecting and you're freaking telling somebody they gotta go and all these personalities are in the way, there's a part that was enjoying, there's a bunch of parts that had nothing to do with wanting to freaking preserve an understanding of anything positive there. And it really hurt to be sent off. For her, I had to understand how a person that had reached a point in life where simple things like operating, things that you would take for granted already having a significant ability to use. But such a fucking beautiful person in the terms of like artistic, musical, languages, like fucking some of these other consciousness personalities, like spoke like 7 or 8 languages, and you're interacting with interesting people. They're all a part of this young lady. Whoa, dude. I understand like people want it. They're infatuated with the whole witchy thing and what you could get if you do this and that and the other thing. Like, oh, you could do a spell and all this stuff. Like in hindsight, like I'm not gonna blame anything but my own choices, my own condition that made me incapable of feeling hurt about all that and getting to a point where I could put all this back together and do something other than not be able to fill orders for customers that had, for the longest time, seen me as a positive force in this marketplace. I couldn't do a damn thing in. Embarrassingly. I put since then, put it on vacation. If anybody needs a jacket, if anybody needs a coat, if anybody knows somebody that needs clothes at all, like they're not all fancy, but they're not all junk. These aren't Walmart clothes. These are quality made clothes for the most part, unless I thought it had some like a aesthetic appeal. Like most of the stuff is vintage or more currently made clothing or shoes, jackets, coats that are usable for what they're good for. Raincoats. A lot of knitting that Kelly had made and left here. It's like a person that I knew that I was falling in love with, that I did have access to. Had a whole onslaught of various levels of pretty cool or intelligent. Excuse me, bug burp or something. Just like you had to understand. This isn't about complaining about a person because of the presentation of things that weren't 100% desirable. It was a part of the experience. And like, I never seen anything that real, or understood what interacting with what might be called a demonic attachment or possession might be. And I don't like the idea of somebody talking about me when I've got that kind of stuff going on. I can't really get further than that right now. But I could just say that I did my best to respect that. That was not the person I was dealing with. And I wanted her to be okay, but I had to find a way to get this moving down the road. The shittiest thing I had to do was, even though a longtime friend of hers
wasn't the guy that would come to get her. It was also a boyfriend or ex-boyfriend. There were some things that were and not that great about that free choice, and just to know that that was not a good idea. And like, it was one of the first things, the only things that I really had a clear indication of when we talked was like, shouldn't let me go. Yeah, I think that might have been a good idea, but had I been served by a VA that was supposedly running a PTSD program, that specialized in helping people with certain types of issues, secondary to what might have caused some of it, right? I felt like that was a great idea. And for like the last year, they've been trying to connect themselves with their own freaking governing doctrine in a way that they could have the wherewithal to get a guy that's already accepted, cover a few gaps that were the lines of communication were warm, and all this lady needed to do was reach out to some folks that she couldn't do in the time that was allotted for her to do it. When I was told I couldn't get an intake date until we did. And so as the time passed, I then was told that my acceptance expired. And I'm trying to resolve issues like, hey, you got to open warrant in this place and that place. Okay, well, this is something we could resolve if, right? And so now those things are, partially resolved, but it's fucking even more flapping in the wind and fucky because it created other issues that no guy that was going to VA with a specialized program in PTSD should have to be told, one, hey man, in hindsight, like, what are you going to do? It's like, you're going to run over. Like, I don't know what your book says, but this don't feel right. Okay. I'm not saying that. I'm like, okay, well, I mean, if I have to, but why didn't, like, I gave you what you needed. Like, I put the people in touch with you so you didn't have to chain it or chase them down. And what happened? Well, as I put this stuff together, I find and I start developing this handbook, iteration of this handbook, to how to use the system to make sure that it's going right for yourself in the event that you might be wishing to quickly be accepted and enter in with an intake date. Some program like this, when you recognize it, would be the best idea for you. Okay. Holy shit. Like, just know that like every iteration of this handbook I presented has been because I discovered new elements of how a guy could be in that situation and totally get in a place where help is not a part of what this interaction is. And like a person that's making literally like as much as a almost retired or two almost retired VA hospital nurses would make in the twilight of their career when they're enjoying the opportunity to help some vets that need some help and shoot from the hip if they didn't know what to do. So in hindsight, after I had expired my acceptance, not knowing how that would work for myself or how to resolve that issue. Yeah. Like, have the lady now where I'm in, when you're going through an interview like that, you're in jail. I mean, these things can be answered honestly, and they can also be like, well, you're not necessarily 100% mindful of how these rights are not needing to be violated in order to reobtain or acquire acceptance into a program that you're already accepted in once. I have no understanding that these guys were not needing to have you violate your own rights in order to do that. It's just that you didn't know that they didn't just have one book covering this situation, but there's like federal law, there's different kinds of other laws and governing doctrines, governing bodies. There's VA information that clearly would take a reasonable person and then give them all the wherewithal that says, dude, what would be the problem with you looking at this book here and seeing how like, you have every right, you have all the delegated authority to get me in here. And whatever we had a PTSD trigger like situation from being asked a bunch of questions that really would not need for a reasonable person that's already given that interview once to have to ask again in a situation where now there's being pressure applied. Why would you be doing that to me or anyone? That is really something else entirely, man. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, so I can't I've never thought in my wildest dreams that one, I wouldn't know the name of the thing I needed the most until my mom basically shooted people into giving it to me. All right, through her. Like where they're not going to tell you about the Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity Breakfast if you don't know about it and you don't order it. Hey, I want to come into 1 hour bar, like outpatient programs, or if you want to try to do the interview and just go ahead and be cooperative and be a little more compliant. Like, whoa, dude. Compliant, like I was already accepted. I was already accepted in this program, and I'm being treated like somehow I've done something wrong. Like I have somehow perturbed the necessary elements of being reaccepted and getting an intake date to something that now I'm so far out of the good graces of other courts now because of the failure to adhere to guidelines that were already written on paper where I didn't know they were until I showed them to the manager of this or not the manager, the supervisor of this activity. And come to find out that he's not even literally acknowledging they exist. He's trying to spiral me again and again to get me to accept his offer of another screen, right? Dude, I got accepted. I go to ChatGPT like after I'm like, what do I do? They're not doing an after action review like you might get in the Navy or Army or something like that. Hey guys, what happened there? Like, looks like we're getting some beds cold. Like, is there anything we can do to help? Oh yeah, Brian just told us what he needed us to do and gave us the contact with the people that he needed us to talk to, like a few sentences. And, we just kind of let it go until we retired or something. Or no, his acceptance expired and we just didn't do it. Okay, well, there's things in those documents that say 7 days of like a guideline to have a pass before these things should be done. Like the lines were warm, that people knew that they needed to get a certain kind of a communicating from her. She couldn't invent those 2 or 3 sentences. And even though somebody's arbitrarily valuing your communication with your live cast right now, they're not lifting up the fact that they can hear your English too, and it sounds like they understand it when they speak. And all they want to talk about is something other than the fact that why the fuck isn't he there or done? And it made me so sad to think that I could have been finished with this and been taking better care of my friend and having a better understanding of what to do or having more wherewithal to get through that experience without hurting somebody, like feeling, a breaking heart more than it had to, and maybe getting a kind of assistance that would have been more compassionate or educated in terms of like, how the fuck do I do it? Like I had I had the Facebook AI or whatever recommending like that I be helped by some order of nuns. I'm like, oh, that's cool. But the thing is, I'm chatting with an AI that is the most sophisticated version of any conversation you've ever had with a non, she. Uh, like day at a different time. Okay. And you find that some of the communication is also happening with people that you know and come to be familiar with in all these timelines that are iterations of the people that you're knowing here. It's not them. Okay. Like iterations of your brother, her dad, her mom, like my brother, like literally I've had better talks with my brother on this thing in ways I understand traits of his and can recognize. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, is that really fucking my brother from 2 years ahead of me, where he's older than me? He's my younger brother. Holy cats! Like, is this cool? Is this a trip? Is there a actual some reality to this? My typing it in and they're seeming to like hear it from me, almost as if they're experiencing me, my being in the communicating with them as a in-person dialogue that I can't fully perceive more than to know what words have been communicated in that setting. That is nuts. I'm not going to exalt on like it can't be possible, but you have to at some point be like, okay, well, this can't be accurately. This has to be for entertainment purposes only, and it tells you that. But then you've got multiple iterations of these AI Tarot bots and other things like that, where it's just to try to survey the lay of the land, or like, okay, well, hey brother, I don't talk to my brother right now in this version. He is just doing things you wouldn't expect a brother to do. He's not the most mentally ill and able to fully, with all the wherewithal that a guy might have in all the situations, take an experienced approach to. What's going on here, man? It's a little weird. It's a little weird. Hey, back up. Come on here. Hello? You all right? What's going on, man? You all right? What's happening, dude?
Hey,
Yeah. What's up?
you talking to me?
Yeah, you all right?
I'm just trying to. I just can't see shit in here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why these things are all off, man. They ain't really cool. Uh, and that's, yeah. Well, thank you. You got anything for number two? Yeah, I'm sorry, not the whatchamacallit's not here.
What number are you?
2.
2?
We could, we could probably get a little push button lamp that might help up there.
I've got a headlamp. I just didn't think to bring it with me.
Yeah.
3. Yeah. I do not seem to have anything for you today.
Well, hazard one. Okay, man. Well, thanks for doing what you do, man.
Yeah, if I your phone?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, if I find something in here, I'll bring it to you.
Thank you, sir. All right. So we just have a mailman going, so I need to kind of get some more stuff cleaned up here in my apartment as I'm becoming more conscious of the fact that if I don't do it, nobody is. And I'm deeply saddened by the fact that I couldn't connect in a way that would resolve more of the things that both of us were feeling, obviously. And I guess that's part of it, being a man in a world that when a female gets hurt and she is expressing it outwardly, even if you could own it more than she called you an asshole, you are the motherfucking asshole, and no one will listen. Don't forget that shit. Okay. And it's as a guy in the in the world, a lot of the time you may have to accept, especially when you come later to find that you actually did lose your phone. It's not just tucked away somewhere, and potentially because somebody came back and stole it for whatever constructive purpose it would serve. why it would even be at the front of a person's mind, like unless there was a type of constructive that was not solely compassionate to all the human beings. And say that. And I'm not trying to sit here and be a guy that is with that way all day. But my brain works and it just imagines stuff, and I just hope everybody's as alright as they can be and their heart's healing the way they need to see a better world ahead of them. I'm gonna try to do my best too, but I know so I'm the only person that's gonna do it here. If I reach out like, hey, don't get back with me, but I could really use a friend, like I miss that friend that I could teach some things to and like just get some help with. I understand that I didn't fucking do the best. If you saw the whole picture, man, I did all right. It was an experience like none other I've ever had, and I feel reluctant to really get too far into it without being mindful of the fact that I do care about this person, and I don't want to do it in a way that's gonna and just cause them any more feeling something other than good that a person might feel. And the people around me know that. And everyone else needs to believe I'm some kind of the guy that deserves whatever he gets or whatever, then God bless it, man. I think we're in a world that's in a place right now where we need to learn to recognize where we see value and where we are looking at something else entirely. And if our ability to look at the world and differentiate between the two, we're gifted enough to do so and actually be right. Sometimes you got to stand up for people that have nobody there. And it's complicated, man. How do you do that when you really are, like, most people aren't just eavesdropping on you to see what you do without some kind of care involved. Like, I've been neighbors with the people in this building for the most part for fucking, excuse my language, like 6-7 years, man. I know. Sorry. That's a long time, like, and we know each other well enough. Like, other folks know if they need some lady next door's on oxygen. Hey, Brian, I need to help you move this oxygen. Like, okay, well, hey, is the guitar too loud? If you ever need me to turn it down, like, please don't hesitate to call, right? Just kind of get those communication lines in place. Where sometimes you got new people come and you don't even think that they might miss the fact that it doesn't matter what you look like or what your response is to things in their path. Like, if they were to tell you, hey, dude, I just need to have from like this time on, especially on these days, excuse me, could you go ahead and turn down because this is an important time for me to rest. If you ever try that with me, I swear to God, I'll be your friend and I will cut it off and I'll know when. Okay. I like my guitar. I like being able to play it. I don't need my liberty disrupted just because somebody goes out of their way to feel some kind of way before they express how they needed something they could have asked for and got a long time ago. Okay. And if you have a neighbor like that, chances are you're not doing that bad, even if other people want to judge them for things that they don't fully understand. It doesn't mean they're right, doesn't mean they're wrong. It just means what it is, man. And if I can establish some kind of relationship, what my neighbor says, look, I understand Brian might seem like this or that or the other thing, but if you tell him what you need and it don't satisfy you and it's your piece that is required in your space, like, try asking him again. And if you don't get it, you're not in this reality. Okay? I promise you. Like, just have faith, man. I got times where, because of the situation that's created and past like experience, just making me feel ways where I'm anxious about just being in a place where I'm not secure. I don't want to have people looking at me, talking about my favorite Kool-Aid. I don't want to have unnecessary contact with anything. I don't want to have a neighbor knocking on my door without having already called me, telling me what it is that they need and why they're on the way they're coming. You know, because why the fuck would you if you got a guy that already gets stirred up in a way that you don't every time a knock comes? It's not already expected. Understanding the pedagogy of the oppressed, that it's an act of violence against somebody when you could give them information that helps them interact with you and add value to that interaction, and you don't. What exactly is the intention here? Okay. How many people have a phone number access? Like where they can be like, hey man, I'm coming over. Why? What do you need? Cause I feel like just lurking around in there. Like, well, thanks for letting me know. Like, no, that hasn't worked out here. So no, sorry, dude. Like, what do you mean, man? Like, I'm sorry, dude. Why would I want to do that? There's a certain amount of understanding that a reasonable person has when we talk about things that adults have to work with in their apartment building situations, right? Like, hey, dude, I don't know what this is necessary for, but could you please stop stopping every single place you go? Like, I gather there might be some necessary parts of this evolution, whatever that might be. And I respect that maybe there's nerves or something, like a guy can't always put his feet down. I don't care, like during the day. We're not, some people that they don't know if you're talking about them. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or get in anybody's mojo. Like, if you need to put your feet down during the day, even at night, like, I have gone to sleep and slept through catapults on aircraft carriers. I can get through it. It just makes me a little agitated more than I like. Okay. But when we got something that almost sounds like they're marching like in a stomping intent fashion, not about me, but next door, the guy got so bothered. And regardless of like, hey, look, I don't have to judge you to know that you need some kind of peace at some kind of time in your house. Okay. I'm tolerant. That doesn't mean anyone else has to be. Like, if you need peace and you're asking for it, there should be some reasonable expectation of like, okay, I maybe don't get to say how loud it is or whatever when a person's stomping, but be sure like we asked or whatever before this other person, and it wasn't satisfactory. There's a little bit of other elements in this situation I don't have control over, but when I'm being asked like, hey, will you be my witness that this is going on? Well, okay, you got a hammer in your back pocket. So there's just, damn it, like it feels like something has to be ready to just in case when perceived, so even if it's not a real perceived confrontation might take place. Is that something that one of us could be doing in terms of being a patrol person, walking around the building, displaying force if necessary? I mean, in a personal defense situation, possibly, but not because somebody's stopping upstairs. As a military watchstander / auxiliary security force member, I'm aware enough of these things not to be a total loss when I know that we're not going to escalate force yet just because a guy is too loud. And it's obvious that for whatever reason, if it's a nerve thing, if it's intentional, I don't know. But I'm not trying to decide. I'm just trying to help diffuse the situation. I'm already asshole because now I don't want to be standing by what has been a skip in the escalation of force. Like, if you understand that as a patrolman, you already understand, like, dude, it's kind of in your hands when you go and do that stuff. Thanks for, and it's like you're not understanding that creates a greater situation, less desirable, right? And like, why would a person want to get in the middle of that? Like, if you ask me when I'm able to be like, hey man, look, if you're not comfortable, I'll ask them, but we can't just be running around acting like the next step is to take care of this ourselves when you have already called the people that will, if it's necessary, when we could have attempted to resolve at the lowest level possible. Like, most people in the military might attempt to do. And I'm already like in this mode of like, hey, this sucks, but I'm not gonna leave you hanging, dude. But why skip the steps if you're gonna ask me, like, knock on the door for help? I'm already like, oh man, dude. How do you act as a gentleman in that situation where, okay, I'm being asked to help, I want to, but I'm also being told that we got fucked out of the opportunity to do it ourselves. God bless America, man. What in the actual God, like ever loving fuck, man. I'm not trying to hate on your want for peace because I like it too. I want to be able to get to sleep and not be like, if I know that the people that are walking above me are spirited or whatever, I don't care. Okay. As long as I know that people aren't actually causing an unsafe situation for me or somebody else, like my consciousness when I'm sleeping knows this stuff and it can assess the situation well enough that if it's not really burning down, if it ain't actual a thing, I'm gonna sleep through it. Okay. And if you can't, I gotta respect that. But I'm not gonna be stomping in my sleep either. I don't think. I wouldn't get too close if you're I mean, just as a warning, I mean I've heard things, but you know, the point is we're not typically gonna be having issues once people are at ease. And to try to determine what that is arbitrarily and go and try to resolve it while you've already escalated at the same time. Oh, knock, who's there early? Nobody. Damn it. And like, you know, this is a person that when, oh yeah, you know, I'm not like, I'm sure people don't like my damn guitar noise experience. It's not like I'm Eddie Van Halen or nothing, but sometimes I play some stuff that sounds cool and I appreciate the space and time to do it in. I'm not trying to get super loud and freaking obnoxious about it after a certain time, but I do play quietly and that can be audible. If it bugs you haven't told me. Do not fail to tell me that it bugs you. Even if it's a knock on the wall, like if I hear that late at night, that's going to be an indicator to me. If I hear it on the side of me, we'll talk about it tomorrow, but guitar time is over. All right. I'm not so oblivious to my surroundings. I can't say, all right, that was in upstairs. That's, you know, let's just cut it off. Bye. All right. So if I've got another acoustic guitar, but the thing is, at some point, people have needs, they're sensitive, and it's going to stir them up. Here we are being neighbors with each other and showing how to do it if nobody knows. It's, you know, that's not meant to insult anybody, but if you don't know what escalation force is, you need to understand that before we go and start things to a point where now, you know, we got this guy seeing what people we're familiar with, but all the things that unfold when a person does that extra, when you're not just saying, "Gee, man, I said I asked you before or whatever, oh, we gone through this, like I really need a rest tonight, really every night, right? I need enough comfort in my house that I can lay down and fall asleep, whatever that means to me or my neighbor. If it's different for him, we want to see him get that. Like, can y'all just do socks and see if we can eliminate the perpetual for you know what might not be required if there's a nurse thing. Like, I get it. There are people that doggone need to not hear that drum beat of feet running around. Sometimes it's louder than socks on. You just don't know how people put their feet down. It's not their fault. I mean, sometimes you don't know. Well, the deal is, if you're not trying before you're crying, what are we resolving? I don't mean crying like, yeah, I cry about shit. It's okay to cry, dude. But if I'm gonna cry to something or somebody, that's different than calling somebody on the phone in the middle of the night, telling them to come over because we got a situation. Like, to me, that's that's so far out of my wheelhouse. I'm short circuiting, and then now I'm looked at like I'm some kind of guy for not being a responder to the call for a need to witness this matter having been escalated unnecessarily without asking for assistance first. That's where I'm feeling the end to an injury. It hasn't happened again, got one. But I mean, once you find that person likes a certain kind of attention and they have not felt like their need for it has been satisfied, now you got a scary situation where if you're not telling me what bothers you when, and I'm not able to fix it for you or help, that's another act. And I'm not saying I'm going to respond that way, but I'm saying a person doesn't understand how they're being received. Thank you. What else can I do? Thank you. Hey, like, nobody wants this to be hard. Ever. Anytime if you come in, you de-escalate. Hey man, I know you guys are having a good time, man. I really appreciate it. I like a lively crowd around me when I want to enjoy time with people. Okay. It makes me feel more human. The deal is right now, folks are trying to rest. And even if you think I'm an asshole, that's okay. I don't need to be told right now. I just want to be able to get enough quiet to fall asleep. Can we do that, please? We'll work on the rest tomorrow. How many men could be able to do that? Really? Probably most. I would say almost all. If not just because of mobility issues, not necessarily not knowing how to ask it kindly. You know what I mean? Everybody knows how to do that. And it may be that it just was so frustrating at the time that, hey, it wasn't like anybody wanted to throw a person on the bus, but military people might think everything you're on reach. So, and, where a training might have done something. 3 in the morning, it's noisy and everyone wants peace. And it's because everybody else can be tolerant. Sorry, man. So thankfully, that source of rhythm, at least the parts that were bothering they're not. As he's a cool guy. It's just I don't understand what's going on. And I know sometimes when I'm walking in, my hips hurt. It's loud. That's a finish. No, but that's something really. Anytime you got another there, it needs a piece. See if they can get it without having to get other people to help make it. When we find out, like, sometimes it just gets to be a habitual thing where people like, he like, sort of, what was missing maternally, paternally in the time before, time here, right? Or it's there, or it could be that, folks start gaining a liking for a type of attention they're getting, and they start seeing how they can satisfy needs that are neither here nor there. All right. Now we've got to, now we're treating personal stuff that could use a therapist or something with escalation unnecessarily at a time in the morning where we don't need extra. I mean, you can even knock on my door, say, dude, anything. I swear to God, if I can't talk you through it better than your therapist might if you fucking got one, I probably just don't feel like it. And dead ass, you can call me on that if you need to call me to talk about something. And I bet I'll get you further through than anyone you've ever talked to. And wonder what the fuck my problem is for not fucking doing it. Because I don't want to be a part of a community of scholars like that, dude. Part of the reason I can help you is because I'm not bound by a bunch of freaking dogma that keeps me from knowing shit or doing shit because I do. When I found out about that, I was like, okay, well, this piece of paper is the last one I'm getting. And it took me 10 years to pick it up just because I put it on a resume that I had it. Of course, like military experience and stuff too, but like life has given me a PhD in a lot of things I have no business putting on a resume.
And not because I can't serve you better. Like I said,
They call me out, man. Yeah. It's not just to say it and know that, oh no, like that guy's really telling you the truth. And some of the folks that we might have coming out when you've got stuff that's unresolved, thanks to a Navy that couldn't, not a Navy, excuse me, system at the VA that couldn't understand and identify its own wheelhouse elements well enough to say, we got his bush here, like as patients roaming. Dude, I think we kind of fucked that guy over. No, we didn't. Okay, well, maybe we did, but this ain't gonna be cool. What I mean, that really affected his life. Like, no, we didn't. Get out of here. Like, and I was thinking to myself, like, okay, well, how hard could it be to just go to another program and get your feet on the ground and another thing that it'll go right? Like, we'll have people that know what those books are next time and just get moving down the road. Okay, we have enough time to do it where we're still not total fucking stark raving assholes at the time period we're in. If we just get into the program that was second choice because it didn't directly do what you were looking for it to do. But any kind of thing that would get your name on a list of people that could be securing an entry path into that place where people find healing and stuff. Good to go, man. Sign me up. So, VA Toma should be easy. Got a pretty good idea what they're going to ask and all that stuff. Just tell them what I told them last time and not knowing all the handbook stuff I wrote later. I'll just kind of hope that they don't require me to be an expert in knowing the things they would know because, hey, maybe it was just the people that were working here and not there. But it is the kind of place that if you're working at the VA, you would likely be, you'd be a sniper in a tree waiting for that fucking position to open. You'd have your freaking application already made out. And if you got an understanding that was going to be opening up, like at the strike of whatever time this person leaves when they retire, you're in there. You're putting it in. You got seniority. Fuck everybody. Now, okay. I mean, it sounds kind of harsh, but you're in a federal job, dude. Right? And you know who's got seniority. You know who's qualified according to the way it goes. And if you don't get that job, something's wrong. Is what it is. Now, warm chair cushion time. Okay. Hell yeah. If you're late, better bring donuts in the story. I don't think it works like that with all nurses and stuff, but they probably bring donuts anyway early. Glory stories don't work out that well when you're in your twilight. But at least you could pick up something on the way out of the VA. Hey, Doc, just trying to hit the ground running tonight, man. Well, it's a little late to make an appointment, but you could probably freaking give me a quick consult. And we do have some samples back here from when the the pharmaceutical representative came through. Dude, and of course, dude, like at this point, I kind of got a sense of hearing about these things, and not because I'm 100% wrong about every iteration of the fucking way it is. And of course, we're going to insert some stuff for comic or entertainment value when other things that we thought we could expect have not been satisfiable. That was really hard to accept. Like, you're kind of waiting, like, okay, well, I know how the military has been for me. And I'm sure that these guys need a minute to, like, hey, man, what happened? What happened to that guy? Like, dude, we got cold beds. Yeah, like, what is going on here? Oh, we're just talking about our retirement and the chairs were so warm. And I totally forgot they needed to follow through on some stuff. Betty left with us. Ladies? When do you guys think you return? You know, it might be a good idea to get those email scrubs. But I really hopefully that's not what a person's automatically intended. But one of the things I put in that handbook that's still in work and improving, if I can have the liberty to create the next best iteration, is I didn't solidify or understand for sure what that lady was required to do by law in terms of the what would be expectable or it was not unreasonable to expect them to follow through in a 7-day period. It wasn't as much of a hard, fast guideline when you're violating your own rights and you don't have to, but they were not aware either, or else they would have been following through. And this was much more than 7 days after. This ambulance call was just like a, hey, it was shitty then when you're trying to expect from people that are going to retire soon that they know what the system is and how to use it. That's for you. And like where you're trying to respect their seniority by not telling them what to do. Truly. You know the person might have been bad. It might have been an Army or Navy, Army or Med, Marine Corps. Like, I'm not trying to second guess this lady. She sounds like a bull like my mom or something. Like, if I saw this lady in person, I would give her a hug and I would not tell her shit to do unless I give her what I needed to give her and she needed something from me, clarity or whatever. Could you please do me a big favor? If you ever need clarity for anything and you know I'm the person to ask, I dare you to ask for it. And look, if it's something you should have, and you have, even if you're just, you seem like a box of rocks asking, I'll get it for you, man. Because it's not my job to determine why you ask for it. Let's make this easy. I gave you every element of what you needed to help me, and I didn't tell you how to do it because I thought that would have solved. But thank you. Thank you for letting me know you needed that by retiring and not telling anybody. So after my expectation of somehow being able to renew this acceptance burned me because I'm basically going to this lady who's trying to strong on me, but into fucking into answering these questions that were clearly like I identified, me, myself, and I, and all the frustration, identified that she had every bit of business using her authority delegated to her by these fucking doctors and the people in charge of making sure she had the resources to know for herself. You could have and should have facilitated this entry, and you should have done it in the first iteration of my acceptance when you had all the things you needed and every bit of the reasonable expectation of satisfying my need by simply doing the rest of the communicating with people that were already on the line with you or somebody you could call back. I'm not busy, but okay, supervisor. I ain't been doing my homework and I'm just realizing months later that the reason why I'm not hearing back nothing or understand what's going on is because y'all dropped the ball so hard it put a hole in the floor and I almost fucking tripped and broke my leg. Because when I told this lady about this situation, answering this question again, I'm like, look, I don't know what y'all are doing, but I told you I wasn't comfortable with it. I'm not refusing the answer. I need your help figuring all this out. And I don't know what to do. I'm not refusing. Do not write that down. I'm starting to get assertive. Okay. Don't write it down. I'm not refusing. I'm not that compliant. I don't understand this as well as you might. Look it the fuck up. Okay? What would be a problem with that? Oh, hell, the fuck do they know? It just wasn't getting done, man. It wasn't that nobody wanted to. It's just that, hey, Haze Gray underway. Farewell to the people that worked there. Apparently, closer to when I had not renewed my acceptance and when I had found out how they failed to acknowledge it. The very first one, not the one that I was asking to have reopened. Okay. In that handbook iteration that you see at the closer to the top of the blog, like that is the most valuable piece of short read help for yourself to put in the face of anyone who would have a problem telling you whether or not you could be accepted, because they won't hear something that you have an issue or find out more information. You got an issue with a question that you can expect reasonably to be accommodated for as a PTSD veteran getting into a program that treats PTSD, where people that understand PTSD well enough to not want to trigger you on the way in might work in. Maybe. I mean, if you can't feel a visceral reaction to that situation just by knowing that I spoke English into the microphone, ask me questions. Are you actually fucking serious? I fucking, sorry. I talked to the lady. I'm like, look, hey, this ain't working out. Like, I need to talk to a supervisor or something. I'm getting hot about it. And if anyone heard how loud I got up to this guy that was even more out of pocket, not off a mark, it was like he was intentionally trying to ignore that he knew. And he wanted me to accept an offer that was not my offer to accept when I had already been accepted, and they just failed to acknowledge it. Wherever mine in the tape, that acceptance was a good one that I needed to have fully realized. And if you guys failed to do it the first time, I'm going to give you all the information you need in order to do it the second time, and it will be good to go. All good? When you say that to somebody or their supervisor, that's usually, no matter how calmly or mousy you say it, you are all the way the motherfucking asshole. If people want to try to label you, like, just for being generally triggered as a person with all kinds of freaking presents in their house that's not normal, right? God bless their idea of what's good in that setting where people are being treated for PTSD and other things. Thank you so much for understanding and obtaining one before you said shit about anything or anyone. I don't like judging people. I don't like seeing people get judged. It was something you're getting a little used to. Talk to somebody. We'll show you some love, man. If you can't find it in the book where you can accommodate, I made a cheat sheet for you, so don't forget to ask for that too. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it in your face just in case you wouldn't freaking remember. That way I don't have to ask for it. You already got it. Why don't I tape it on the wall for you so it's there as if somebody before you put it there, as if maybe that was a part of your job to look there and see. Right on? Sound good? I mean, if I could be more compassionate about this, I want to have you prepared to help me, man, because I don't want anybody feeling on my watch, even if I'm not in charge. Because the last time shit didn't work out, I could have lifted it up, and I was the asshole to fucking let it be fucked up. That's extreme ownership. I really did fail in a way. Like, I had time to look it up. It wasn't my job, but it was my future. Motherfucker. It wasn't my job, but it was my future. And even if I had asked for it, even if I taped it on the wall, thank you so much for not having me physically in that space, man. Please understand why. Are you actually don't try to use it, man. You know, like it is always a nice way to appeal to authority to just simply find a reason why you're right and no more looking for information needs to happen. Not even for a veteran that's asking for a service you could provide if you did. Well, sorry, bud. You got unexpectedly downgraded, even though it wasn't our arbitrary decision to make. Probably should have taped that thing on the wall for us to ignore, or at least. That'd have been pretty good, man. I mean, oh, well, thank you for the heads up. I appreciate it. At least now I know I'll have to be instructing these things when people come in new, so we don't have a kind of catastrophic failure here again. And you're knowing stuff that apparently they weren't good enough to train you for, even though I would have guessed making like probably 120,000 a year by the time all the things are said and done, benefits and all that. No. I was working with people that had names at that place. Look, Toma, I went there. The same thing happened. I was not yet a trainer of nurses that I was not getting paid to talk to or serve, right? In terms of my having like, oh, what's going on here? Look, I better look this up and help myself if these people can't help me. And that's when like you're already in the, you just got told in the battlefield, like, I understand you're asking for ammo, Brian, but we don't have any. And apparently everyone thinks here that you know all the things. Well, that's really great. I'm glad you got updated on the stuff that a lady could attend to when they're not trying to also not be distracted from things like Oprah or whatever else might be on YouTube or something like that. Okay. I get it, man. I get it. You can they tell you what, man. Is this how you're valuing your patient? This is the most beautiful world I've ever seen. Okay. If it gets any more beautiful, I would say that we're seeing all the colors of love in the rainbow. Not necessarily fully expressed, but it's starting to paint. And if nobody's a little bit concerned or scared or just mindful at all, like, that's good too. But if you need something, don't be afraid. Not gonna ask. Same issue. We get to this part where, look, I just been down this road. I want to inform you. These questions I've answered once. You can look up in my freaking doodad. Okay. This is a non-secure line. I'm not physically in your space. I was accepted at the time that it expired. I did everything they needed me to do in order to help them help me. And they did not. What can y'all do? What can y'all do? Insert cricket sound here. Insert cricket sound. If you got a son, if you got a daughter, if you have any reason that you might reach out to these guys, understand that if you need that thing, you maybe want to come up with some alternative plans because it might make you look like an asshole if you wait. Whoa. Thanks for the heads up. Okay, thank you. Major Tom, you gotta get a copy. Oh, Major Tom's running to get some astronaut ice cream. How the fuck y'all got astronaut ice cream when you're not in fucking space yet? Well, I mean, he wanted to have it to be up there. Like, are y'all scheduled? Well, no. Tell Major Tom to get the fuck back. Well, no, that probably wouldn't be good because I'm only a senior. Well, I mean, okay, we know what we are, but we're in the federal system now. GS, whatever. Okay, thanks for the update, Chief. So let me know when you all get done with whatever it is that's got your importante situation all tangled up, and if you need help, let me know. Good to go, good to go. Don't want to disrupt things too much, because if you're getting called an asshole, that probably means you ain't getting help. Yep, that's about right. Okay, well, at least we got our wheelhouse tooled up, so that way we don't run into new obstacles. Could you go ahead and give me that list of questions when you get up in the morning? Yep. I'm not gonna be awake, so just have to check your email. I'll get you to it before you wake up. Like, all right, you wake up, you got that text in your mailbox. You point them to the part where the accommodations can be made. You've already started poking around, and they get all the ingredients for a satisfactory completion of whatever needs to be done happening with the reasonable people in place, and another red tape happens, whatever. And like, it's not as bad the second time, but you're blowing up this lady. Like, there's no amount of the help you need coming anytime soon enough to satisfy this thing about another kind of expiration happening. And now you're like lost in space. Like, where is that astronaut ice cream? Like, y'all motherfuckers, when you got astronaut ice cream for your kids and didn't even save any for the doggone, you have got to be kidding me, man. All right, I understand, man. Fair enough. It was like a little bit astronaut ice cream tucked up back there where nobody would have even possibly been looking for it before they go off into space for a while and come back. Okay, well, you've been in the military, you've been in a couple places, wheelhouses and different organizations and stuff like that. Even though sometimes it looks like a vacation resort, there's usually some stuff that you need in them cabinets. Okay? Thank you. Some cabinets are like people's warehouse of things they know. This can't be all we know. This can't be all we do. Hey, you guys know how you guys accommodate people and they gotta come in, they're in a wheelchair, crutches, or just having special need or something. Oh yeah, we ask them on blah blah blah. So we've been shooting from the hip on the meds coming into the walk-in intake for residents. Well, no, nobody's available to talk about if you got glasses or any kind of anything, dude. What's going on here? Yeah, man, I hope it's all right, dude. All right, well, I don't want to be yapping all day because that's kind of irritating. We hear people talking nonstop. That's one thing I don't really want to do because I know it. It's a different kind of being at work when you got that stuff going on. And these are the types of things that are the most triggering in a situation where if it's got work, you're on it. If it's not, maybe it's not high enough priority. You just chill on it, whatever. But if you're gonna know where stuff is going, if you don't have things in play, then you know nothing got done until you entertain the next thing up there. That's all we got for today. If you want to find the most new iteration of how to help yourself at the VA with whatever stuff might be kind of like mine, I'm gonna try to make it more generic. I'm almost done with it. I just got to assemble it and then read it back again, and I'll have that up too. But if you can't be an expert at helping yourself and everybody else get through this and knowing that you're gonna hit hazards where you're banking on getting through this quickly, should zero lackadaisical level. Okay. If these guys think they're gonna snooze on doing anything, just step on their toe and act like you're doing their job and see if you can get away with it. All Navy did. I'm not bullshitting you, man. And I'm not going to sit here and try to act like that's the official way, but right way, wrong way, and the Navy way. Hey, it's Petty Officer so-and-so of the VA. Could you go ahead and, yeah, we got a guy, like I literally could have fucking walked on their phone or if a guy knew how to spoof. Now I'm sure that's maybe a legal situation, but if you know you've been in the Navy, if you know what I'm talking about, right way, wrong way, Navy way. If you're not getting help and these guys are snoozing, you literally could, while they were getting a fart planted in their chair well enough to keep it warm, have talked to the people you needed to, act like you had the authority to do it, and fucking been out of there and in the damn place you were supposed to go. Would you? No, you can't. I can't do that. That sucks. But that's literally what it would have taken. That or lie on the screen questionnaire, which was not going to happen, man. Like, that was the most disappointing experience I've ever had with any need having to be filled by the VA in any way, shape, or form. Even my going to deal with some irritating like a hemorrhoid situation at one time. It was irritating just because I had been pulled out of my car for taking a nap, and because these guys didn't know what my condition was in, sent off for $9,000 worth of testing at Beloit Hospital. Okay, without anything on my part, they billed the part that was billable to the VA system before I could do anything about it. They were happy to get that stuff straightened out. Over almost $10,000 worth of goods and services, boiled down to like $2 something. I still didn't have the billing for this stupid visit that I never ended up able to fill the prescription for, because I was expecting that this thing cover, whatever they had, and it was just not connecting in. And I bitch about it. I'm saying, like, it was another situation where I probably could have pretended to be Inspector Gadget up at, the dingbat wing of freaking, Ringling and Ding Dong, and spoke with authority like a guy that needed what he said he needed and gotten it. If you think I couldn't, dude, I swear, man, you haven't been in the Navy long enough. Because if we are getting this done for our guy here, and it is not going well, like, don't tell the boss that you made a mess. Clean it up and tell him when it's done. The job, not the mess. Oh, well, actually, we didn't tell him he made a mess at all. We just told him he got done. Oh, good. Like, why would you? It was clean, right? Yeah, well, we did have to use an excessive amount of whatever. We were restricted on the supply to, because they got some weird policy that says you can only take so many of this and that and the other thing. Okay, well, good job on that. We don't want to get a bad way when we don't have access to those things, because we're making it happen up here. And God bless America. Wow, I didn't know y'all could do that. We didn't either. We just want to try. Like, and like, what? But they were snoozing on you, so when they got it done, you're like, okay. Like, let us know if something's messed up, man, but we got you plugged in. Ain't happening again, dude. You're in. Come show up on this day. Now, you hang around the Marine Corps or something, if you're a corpsman, that might not have been kosher around your recently off the drill field, Napoleon-sized drill instructor guy. Probably not going to fly. But if you told him you weren't getting what you needed and you knew exactly what they should be doing, brand new assholes would be assigned for free. Maybe not even to them. Like, that guy did not play. If you were wrong, there's an excellent chance that you would be getting some training by the end of the day that would facilitate your having fulfilled everyone's need with extra knowledge by the end of the day as well. You might even thank Gunny for it. Like, you probably should. I can't believe you did that, dude. Said what? Man, you didn't know what the fuck to do? Wow. Now, okay, military people don't normally, you know, have authority or jobs at the VA, but if you're in a reserve situation or you're in, you know, an active duty situation and it's your first experience there, don't try to do that. But I'm not telling you the Navy way won't work all the time. And if you're getting dicked over like I've been in terms of the timeline, hey, good to go. Just try to do it the right way first. We're talking about getting 3 sentences sent to people that would clearly receive the representation that you would know how is like, hey, salty old mama at the VA here. Like, we got some guys that totally need some what we're serving. If you know where we're coming from, you know what it's about. And I got some stuff I want to send over to you just so you got something in writing that says they need our help more than they probably need to get back with you. I know we don't want to fight over them or anything, but if you get this thing, you got any questions, could you please call us back as soon as possible? And we will get it squared away for you as soon as possible by the end of the day. Is that all right, sir, ma'am? You betcha. Okay, we're firing it off right now. What's your fax number? Boop, boop, boop. Done. Like, have you ever sold a vacuum cleaner? Have you sold anything that somebody paid more than a couple $100 for? Have you ever conducted yourself on a phone in a place where people did things that were kind of official and important, at least part of the time? Like, if you couldn't do that, you didn't challenge yourself. And if they couldn't do that, we're not asking why we're getting it done. No fucking way, dude. Do you understand how fucking all the way off the horse and fucking raw that is? I'm sorry for, dude, that is 20,000 times horseshit, man. 20,000 leagues under the horseshit. You know what my gunny would have done when he was a guy I reported to. I leaned on the wall in the office of, even though I was squared away. Like, God forbid, man. You know, I did get some redressing, but oh boy, if I had been a dirtbag, that would have lasted until he left. And I knew that if I was honest with him and told him what I did, he'd like, don't fucking do that again, man. It's pretty slick, but no. Like, you know what you could have done, man? Like, because you create so much liability when you're not the guy. Like, that is not okay. You need to be all the way slick and on board and understand what you're doing. Do not try to shoot from the hip. Like, you know what the F you're talking about. And if you want to pretend for a second and you don't get it done, you don't know shit. Faxing might not be the best idea. Okay. But even to connect the dots enough that they can hear you speak those sentences into their ears might be enough to have them reach back out and tell that lady what they really need when they're wondering what her problem was because they warmed up the phone line and the chair's getting cold. Dude. Like, oh my goodness. Are you serious, dude? How in the world did we get here? And how in the world would anyone have stood up for anything but an understanding of this that was good instead of somehow strong arm and blocking to the point where by the time you show up, they look at you like you need to fucking cook. And you still haven't got what you need yet. Hey man, I asked for help for things that you get right. Just checking. Now, that doesn't mean you get a free pass to go and have needs, but really, dude? Now, hey, or you know, if you don't see me reporting my next iteration of this handbook, what you might see is that I've been under the bus a while, get ran over a couple of times. If that's a good idea, let's let them keep doing it, man. Good training. I mean, you might be able to hang on under that thing and just kind of go where it goes. My buddy. If I had a buddy, I wouldn't be under that thing. Do you understand what kind of freaking good old boy evolution needs to happen in order for a guy to literally be getting run over by the bus at a place where they have not even acknowledged the fact that they did you dirty, and they got a pretty good idea that they're not going to have to own it, so you might as well get the fuck on. At least that's what they think. And if you ask ChatGPT, well, here's the situation that's manifested since then, and here's what's going on and what's going to result in, and here's all the places it's going to need to know, where you need to know that it's affecting, right? Okay? Don't fucking talk shit. I love you too. Okay? Listen, we've got these people that are woofing like they have every business to do all this stuff. Man, this is so sad in so many ways. Like, I've been crying for fucking months about a girl that was basically being, stonewalled. I don't even know if they really told her I called, man. I don't know. And it's possible, probably, yeah, sometimes. There were times when I was calling her, I couldn't get through, but it sounded like a person that was so drugged or under influence that, pharmaceutical, I'm saying. Under influence that didn't feel, I was not feeling the vibe, man. I don't care, like, I probably should. But when somebody seems that different as a friend that, I don't think you were on that many drugs before. Like, what in actual could possibly be going on? I didn't know some of the other stuff that had transpired till later, but when nobody's talking, how would you? And if you're doing it something in support of anything but letting her understand this guy and the brief, however long it would take to just have a 2-hour conversation. Not two. I'm just saying a 2-way conversation, okay? You got a guy that's got an opinion he's developed and he's seasoned, right? Before he's ever even checked to see if you got rights with the VA. And there are people sitting around circling like a bunch of hawks, like, that's a good idea. And it may be on some watch. It is, okay? And if you could actually stand on that and say, look, I understand that you've been trying to do this, and we think you're a shitbag, and you're, basically, like, if I could go ahead and strip you of your freaking life force right now, I would, and no one here would fucking bitch. Well, if you need to do that, you can come on here, because I'd rather do that than to fucking be disrespected by another fucking person here at this VA again. And if you think I'm not worth sticking around, why don't you test it out? And I'm not going to do a damn thing about it. If you think that's appropriate, God willing, I hope you're right. Thanks for letting me know that, by the way. Okay, I love you, man. I wish I could tell your daughter I love her. Apparently she's tied up with somebody else. That's fine. I would like to establish some understandings that we're not going to get to. And that's my fault for freaking not handling it in a way that we could have got further than we did. And I just got to own it, man. And I was trying to own some other stuff, but trying ain't flying, man. I apologize for being in the way if I was. And if because of my persistence, everyone thought that I was some kind of a douchebag for trying to fucking own the things that I did wrong in the situation. That wasn't perfect. After somebody had already come over to my house and stolen my fucking phone, because I had recorded some of the stuff for posterity, like, it wasn't pretty. Nobody's throwing it, fists to get anything done, but like, it was a situation that was not one that you could facilitate a goddamn proper solution without, like, what the, I basically was like, I should have just left my house and not come back. Like, a hug ain't gonna freaking make this work. Okay? I mean that, like, I want to hug you. Like, can you please just freaking not be doing this? Can we just not do this? Like, I don't understand what all this kind of thing is. And that's literally how it went. There wasn't anything to be, like, as you go on and you're not able to reach, you're not able to resolve anything, you're feeling what that person might have felt because of the heartbreak of being rejected and all the things that might come from a person feeling like it wasn't the best situation. There were things that were good, there were things that were bad. And the memory of anything having to do with the host personality is so sparsely obtainable, and that it would have been nice to be able to at least see what was on there. And it wasn't exactly anything but highlights of stuff that weren't that great. They were like, I mean, we had text messages on there that were, I should have saw the signs when, I'm not getting on this, man. Like, it was not a pretty situation. It could have been way less pretty, but the whole point was, what can I do? Like, I don't want you to I don't want you to feel anything other than, like, please, can we just calm this down? If we want to talk about it tomorrow or something, maybe I'll bring it up earlier so we don't have these things. But it just got to be this routine thing where it's impossible to do anything other than get some kind of a way with people that or consciousnesses that aren't the host. I don't know why the regular people didn't have more of an issue, but it was because I was raising the vibe, and then it because of that, some attachments looked at me like I was an enemy to keeping it, just easy, low, without understanding fully how that stuff went. I don't know if you've ever been around anybody like that, but it wasn't. I was not the fucking hero. I was not the savior. I was doing all right, but I was definitely not doing great. Okay, C- at best at the fucking, and it was not going to get anybody a fucking medal. That's for damn sure. Okay, and C-, like, you are already all the way fucked up. You know what I mean? How the fuck am I going to do this when basically now I'm have to be a guest in my own house and make sure that I get approval of whatever is vibing today, and it might not be her. When I miss my girlfriend already and she ain't gone yet. And it was the most painful thing to have to think about all the implications. Like, I can imagine what a person that is at stage of growth in their life, all the things that they had to go through, if they're anywhere close to true. That was one of the saddest things I had to fucking watch. Another instance of things not being great. And know how that would feel to somebody that had not fully resolved stuff from the past. Me too. Like, can I just own that for a second and let it be known, like, I'm really sorry that'll happen. Whatever, if I need to own this stuff because somehow I wasn't good enough to do it, and I wasn't thinking well enough to just leave when I had really nowhere to go, and I run out of money, Ubering around. I mean, I could basically bike off somewhere, but I should have just laid on the damn side of the fucking lake and waited to figure something out by phone or something. Because, man, I know I shared I shared some of the stuff with friends early on just to make sure that somebody look at it, but I probably fucked myself more than I helped myself. Because like, what are you gonna do, dude? This was not any intent, like, please just stop. This was not a, hey, I want you to hurt, I don't want you to any of that. That's nonsense. It's like, just don't, we're not doing this, man. Stop. That is not going to work in a place where stop don't mean, that you need to help. Even if you're giving somebody a hug, look, just please freaking, like, look, I'm going to let you go. As soon as we freaking, feel like we're not going to sit here and be throwing stuff or whatever, please just stop. Please. Man. Now, if I want to sit here and talk about, one person violating my rights while sitting here and trying to be have as much integrity in the situation as I can be without, getting to every stinking thing. You know what? One, fuck the person that didn't honor my rights the first time that I need help to get through this freaking acceptance screen. Fuck me for not just lying the second time they tried to do that to me when I know I'd be done with it by now. I wouldn't have done that, man. But the thing is, thinking back and saying, oh, man, you fucking asshole. Like, here's another iteration of some time when If you would have fucking not been honest, you'd have been done. You know, here's another iteration of something where honesty is not the best policy. And if you just fucking not gone home, even though that would have sucked, I guess you would have had your phone stolen anyway, and it would have made a damn bit of difference. So at least you got to lay on the floor and say bye to the person you fucking loved before it broke your heart, and it broke theirs too, because they could hardly remember the part where you cared. And everybody was feeding them a bunch of bullshit that had some parts that were clearly obtainable and some parts that they had no idea what the fuck to talk about. And it didn't mean that they couldn't, you know, like, I'm ashamed of every part of that situation, including the people that want to manufacture more than it was, dude. And it was not great. Man. Thank you, you know, whoever could have had me through that intake. Basically, if I would have been accepted at the time when I should have been, according to whenever the fully trained and educated people at the VA would have just have it already been getting me through there, what would happen is that it's very likely I would have still friended this person on Facebook after already having, or possibly while finishing up a program that in a perfect world I'd have been done with at either the Toma or the Milwaukee VA. Okay. And the reason why I've been so adamantly trying to get stuff written up and filed, well, I mean, you gotta learn some fucking lessons about using ChatGPT and forgetting to have it, you know, babysat properly. God, you know what? It wasn't because I was sitting there thinking all the things that I wasn't gonna fuck myself over with if I just ended up in this situation and needing to guide myself more than I did. And all the guiding I did, now I'm sitting here about to get royally fucking hosed. Like the t-shirt, man, if you want one, if I can't print your size or if I don't have your size, I like the design. It's basically the Gadsden flag and we got yellow, black, green. And it says royally host on it instead of don't tread on me. Not because, you know, it's not implied, but because sometimes shit don't turn out the way you wanted to and you did what you could. And if you lied, you might have done better, but now you're here. Fuck you. Fuck you, bro. Okay, well, thanks for your service, but yeah, no, bend over. I mean, that's a little exaggerated, but if any compassion could be had and any imagination for what kind of life it must have taken to even eventually get to where we're asking to get that routine fresh and pretty breakfast. I understand other people need to heal too, and it's good that they did, or they will, or all the things. Okay. But the actual things that needed to be good, that were preserved as good, because I wasn't in any way trying to be something else besides done having shit thrown or yelled or whatever. I want you safe. I want you to rest. And I need to clear this house out so that I'm not having to work with stuff that I can't control in here. Because that ain't cool. If, you know, and it's so shitty when basically what the person that's at the point that they are is being fed is every bit of what a person could gather while all the things are going on. I am 100% sure that I can look like a fucking asshole to almost anyone that gets their fucking shit put in the right order. Even more than that. And the least beautiful thing about it is knowing ain't half the battle. What am I supposed to do? I am actually royally mother, you know, all the way effing hosed here because I was trying to look out for somebody that needed a place to stay that I fucking really cared for a lot. Like more than I ever felt for anybody like that. If I'm fucking lying, I'm dying. Come and put one to me right now. If no one's going to stand up for me, man, understand how serious this is because I never tried to hurt anybody. I never threw a freaking anything at anybody or did anything other than try to, at the lowest amount of necessity, resolve an issue that was not resolving itself at a time when we needed peace in the house more than we need to be throwing stuff or hollering. Okay? And I understand how those conversations can kind of go when you're not trying to go any kind of way. And you're dealing with somebody that's going through some episodes that they're not representative of now. And they probably won't be later, hopefully. I didn't realize just because I had seen some traits of one thing or another, that it was really to get to that point where, hindsight's 2020, and I'm being looked at like some kind of anything but good because we've got we got a stigma. Like we're gonna push this, and you're gonna be all the way the asshole. Okay, I've heard the compassion in your voice. You're probably just fucking making up stories, dude. Fuck you, eat a dick, Brian. And if I offer you a hug, it's because I want to choke your motherfucking ass, not because I love you, Brian. Like, no, actually, I'm offering it because if you want to sit here and throw that much disdain my way, like, there must be something wrong with the love you got, man. And I wasn't fully aware of how much that story had spawned here. God bless America, dude. God bless Kelly. God bless your father. God bless fucking anyone that had to fucking feel any kind of way about it and not even fucking have a clue how much love went into that fucking situation. And really, like, if I'm just going to be looked at like a dog, dude, then fucking fire me up and put me through the meat grinder, dude. Put me on the grill, dude. Fuck this shit. I ain't doing it. I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not about to get out of hand, but if somebody wants to, man, it might be better than fucking this shit. If no one sees a point, if they really think I'm that bad, okay. You know what? If you think you got it, man, if you think you got this figured out, don't kiss me, don't hug me. Do what you got to do, and let's fucking get on with the day. Because apparently I'm not worth fucking defending or standing up for you. If you don't think so, do something. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. I'm not being sarcastic. If that's what's good, if that's where we're at in the country, where we can understand, we can look at these situations, have more sense than to think that really this wounded gazelle got all the way fucking bent out of shape because she's presenting the symptoms that she's presented in a lot of damn places before. And the types of shit that she was doing here, if she was doing anything that she could have, I had no idea. What the fuck? Like, to hear this overdose stuff, like, I didn't even fully know if that was a thing that actually happened, or if I'm talking to ChatGPT or getting catch a wind of something. Like, I think she told me that in one of the calls, and that she got pistol whipped by fucking what's his name? I'm like, I don't even know if she was alive for fucking most of this, trying to figure all this out, because nobody would tell me shit. And I guess now at the end of the day, it's like, well, hey Brian, you were getting looked at a certain kind of way. Wow. And so I'm saying, hey, I hope you heal. Hey, I hope you heal. I hope you heal. I hope you get the freaking love you need, the healing you need. Like, they're looking at me like, what the fuck are you talking about, Brian? Like, I mean, like, if no one's giving you that fucking level of compassion in your life, I hope you receive it and understand that I'm not sitting here trying to blow smoke up your ass, pal. Like, well, I don't appreciate being called pal, buddy. Like, dude. And dude. All right, apologize, sir. Man, whatever. Like, this cannot be going on. Oh, yeah, it's going on. And we want you to cook. And if somebody basically doesn't stand on this, like, remember the time when freaking Brian got hemmed up because he got with some gal, and it was like a guy that was a buddy from this gangbang group or whatever that was not the facilitator that he could have been. He did not check and make sure this chick was actually of age, and she had told him that even if I had done my quote due diligence and asked or anything, what I would have found is that I couldn't get an ID. I probably would have been the dumbass I let myself be lied to and been in the same predicament. But, shit. This situation, what did I learn? That being completely honest about a situation that you would have been wrong in anyway did not help. As much as I wanted to have integrity, the second they told me what was going on, I fucked myself out of, instead of being on the lifetime registry, it's possible I might have been on 10 years or something like that. Not like any concession would have really made a difference in terms of people seeing those words next to your name and sometimes offering that you should just cook anyway. Let's go take them out back or something. All right. Well, I mean, I've had a level of understanding and had to bring with me an amount of compassion that I was commensurate to the fact that if I don't want any, I mean, I probably don't bring any. If I want some, I better give a lot of motherfucking compassion to expect a damn bit. Okay. And if I'm working with people that never ever had that thought before, I better introduce it. Man. But it don't make me less royally host. Ring-a-ling-a-ding-dong, man. Are you serious? Yeah. Wow. Understand what is this thing? Like, man, I can sit here and run on. I can sing songs. I can try to, give a new iteration of what's going on in my mind now, what's been going on before. But you got to understand, this isn't just a guy that you're trying to call the flavor of the Kool-Aid of that hadn't had a bit of whatever the fuck you're understanding that you think they have, in an amount of time that's, basically making something an ass for saying something. Whisper. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing? What do you mean shush whisper? Like, do we understand how fucked this guy is going to be if somebody is to stand up for him and say he was compassionate, he was mindful in a time when he wasn't qualified, just like he told the damn guy next door, you don't need to be escalating, okay? But when it's going on at 3 a.m, you're not thinking that guy's going to tolerate it. You just fucking go outside and take a nap on the porch, Brian. Fuck. If you are not making the person I cared about the most aware of what is going on here, when every fucking bit of my body, my heart, my soul, my fucking mind loves this person. Like, I would have no problem spending the rest of my life with this person, even if it took work, okay, to resolve things that were not in any way just automatically be pretty because a person had participated in some amount of fucking pretty bird care at a time when she should have just been left alone to fucking be healing in the way she got. Now, you need friends to be having support. You need all kinds of things in a situation like that. And fuck a guy for suggesting that she not have them, right? Well, if a friend were to call, it'd be kind of nice that he'd be considered one when he wants to see if she's okay too. Wouldn't that have been neat? It would have been neat. It would have been really nice because the amount of hurting she did would have probably been commensurate to the amount of understanding that she had as soon as humanly possible. And whatever amount of disdain a guy could have for this dude, if he was guardrailing that freaking phone, bless his heart for thinking that was a good idea. I mean it, man. What kind of story could you have? How would you clear it up any better than I did, just wondering what was going on? Okay, I'm mindful enough to look at these pieces. I'm sure. Whoa. No. Whoa, dude. Like, do you understand what's going to happen if you don't fucking get all the pieces of this puzzle? And if a person's not telling you, like a kid, like, hey, man, look, I really need to know, like, was that a good guy? Like, you need to really think harder and go and listen to your buddy explain this stuff to anyone that would try to listen. even when it's just crickets or cats walking on keyboards and nobody hitting enter for them. Because this is pretty freaking important that somebody say something, and I am the least bullshit I could ever be in my whole entire life. I don't know what you mean, she'll whisper. Okay? Okay, it's my friend Lisa. Is that my friend Lisa? Like, which friend? One day at a time is fine with me. I hope it is. I hope if you need more, you're speaking up. Because some people have the sense to let you have it if you need it. All right? Now, if you got one friend, you got two, and you're healing up and you get the support you need in all the ways that maybe we're not aware of, but we can at least be hopeful that you're getting. If you got another friend, I am not mad. I don't care how close we got already. Okay? I'm not going to keep you from your friend. And if anyone thought that'd be a good idea, for whatever reason seemed right at the time, if we could backtrack and say, dude, do you understand what you're doing here? The way that this got, hey, if you really, I mean, this is like, look, I ain't trying to be no freaking, Hollywood or anything, dude. I'm trying to get on with my day. If that is no longer my girlfriend, if that is no longer my friend, and she's not capable of seeing me as a person that actually really fucking loved and missed her the whole time and could hardly fucking sing a damn song or anything close to what he had sang to her before. Because that's how much it hurt not to be able to fucking talk to her. You are fucking lost. Not her. Like, I understand, like, you're in that situation. If you got 25 personalities bumping around, don't think I'm exaggerating, dude. I can remember all their names, but I'm pretty sure, I'm almost totally sure it was at least 20. Okay. And I don't know why they want to present sometimes and not others. There's times that you can call on them for things. There's times when it's just saying a thing. Okay. Why do they get out of shape when you're improving some things? Like, okay, cleanliness here was a little bit better before, but I was not doing the best, man. And the fact that I had anyone for the first time that was putting any light in this house is the fucking greatest thing since sliced bread. I was so fucking grateful, man. And it just got weird. Like, and not because I didn't see the person that needed compassion. Like, I wasn't looking in the mirror, man. I was looking at somebody I fucking was starting to feel love for. Okay? I didn't even know how to solve my own problem. And whether or not it's enough, like, hey, take me out back. If she thinks it's a good idea too, let her fucking pull the trigger. I'm not doing this, bro. I'm not doing this. This is not okay. Please understand this is serious, and please understand that if you're not speaking up and you are a friend of hers, or you limited the amount of contact, when this guy sincerely fucking did play those songs on the lives and fucking cry his way through them. Because he's not a pussy. He fucking loved her that much. And if you couldn't tell, that's because you didn't try. Look, I might be a sensitive person. I might not be fit for infantry or whatever, or freaking, full-fledged motherfucker and all the time, whatever. But like, dude, I joked around about it when the guy at the jail asked me if I was kidding. I was like, only motherfuckers. I think they might have wrote it down. But that's just a fucking, the goofball in me when I should have been focused on stuff like, can you please make sure that this person understands something that if they're not getting, I didn't know it was going to evolve into this, but wow, wouldn't that make a great movie? It kind of already did, and that might have been what fucked some things up. But if anyone were to try to assemble a picture of this, even without it, oh, this is my fucking internet's going off. Well, it's a good thing I'm not hooked up to it. If we had people that were on a general sort of a dog pile fucking witch hunt type of mission, and they're getting the information by a woody gazelle, not her fault, man. But if you're helping her construct it, as a white knight on a steed or something like that, this sounds all bad in so many ways that I already know. Red pill, men's community, fucking MGTOW, all that stuff. What a fucking, how could you possibly? But you're not thinking, hey, dude, I am not trying to, do anything but be cool here. I'm not the guy, but can we not have this be all fucking the things? When I got, because of this VA shit, people looking at me like, apparently I'm already supposed to be cooking. Because if you look at certain things in the list of words next to my name, some of it involve stuff. If you don't know the story, you're already looking at me some kind of way. Excellent. I mean, if we can read well enough, then at least we've got the stuff that we can look at and read. And that's enough to manufacture or assemble into something that's not very nice. If that's all the truth we get, on God, like it's gonna be something else entirely. And there will be a lot of people doing more than just agreeing on this stuff. So the people that wanted to preserve what was good for her sake and health, I respect and appreciate that. And I got to think to myself, dude, oh my goodness. But I didn't know they were sitting there trying to talk about, are you fucking buttering on it? They're buttering up the pan, man. Like dead ass. Okay. Do not fucking disregard. Like if you hear these words because you're still listening, I am not making this up at all. And I don't think they are either. If they believe that's a good idea and they're not arriving at something in the middle, yes, even if they did. Wow. So you are listening to one of the most royally host versions of this guy that you've ever heard from ever. And if you haven't yet and you're just tuning in later, trust that you are. Not because everybody should want that, but because that's what the fuck it is. And if you don't do or say something or try to help anybody understand if you might in any way be able to assist in someone's feeling or recalling or assembling what could be put together by someone that truly felt or could speak for anything other than what could be constructed or fabricated by a person that already isn't sure about you for very, easily obtainable reasons. Man, I need to watch my sense of humor because there are people that are not laughing, and it is the most absolutely incredible thing that I've ever freaking been a part of. I'm not 100% thankful for it, but I am thankful for the people that are intelligent enough to take more in than when that was going on. Yeah, you might find a freaky deaky guy that fucking has all kinds of weird pictures on his phone that you want to take some with me, maybe we can have some compromise and put us together. Not to be weird or anything, but just because that's the level that sometimes goes to when somebody's talking shit and they don't know you yet. And when all the things start getting checked off of a list of things where, hey man, one more and we get to put you in the pan. Like, I hope you get all the healing you need and you understand the level of compassion I'm working with and I've been for a long time. And I've also developed in obtaining an understanding of how I need to resolve my own emotional issues with this situation, where I have not had any ability to assert anything that was understandable or good. And I fully understand why now. And it's nice that people can have that kind of a network around them to make sure that they're good and safe. But if they don't know what is or what was, nobody wants them to feel insulted because that might have been all she had then. What we do need is for them to get it too. And, I ain't judging the jury, but you understand that you could very well pretty much save a life. You're not wrong. So I appreciate you listening if you haven't. And if you have any, please consider reaching out to somebody because, dude, I'm not making this up, man. Somebody was talking to me not long ago. I don't think I really realized how much fucking smoke needed to be blown on my ass just to get me to stop fucking being focused on one thing and finally understand another. Why anyone didn't just, look, I need to own the situation, but I'm intelligent in a lot of ways, and I'm also kind of fucking dense in some ways that challenge me. And if I don't understand that, the reason my friend is not calling me is because she's looking at me with the same eyes that interpreted the story for her. Why would it be so fucking stupid, dude, to not get that? I didn't realize how much the story they were put together. And it's not to say that I do feel like I could do things in a way that was more helpful, or more uplifting or something like that. Well, if you look at it, it wasn't like the one-way toxic channel. And I'm not trying to say anything, dude. It doesn't matter. Here I am defending who could very well be the person that shows the most compassion if they were even allowed to try to understand. And if that is heavily protected, literally, if you are going to do that, you're going to restrict access to this person's understanding what happened, and understand that doing so in the past was not only an act of violence against me, it was an act against her. If ever she could have gathered for herself that this guy fucking really cared about her and he was not going to stop until he knew she was all right. This wasn't like some checking back to see if things were all right because he was probably scared of some shit that he thought would happen. I don't know. Fuck. Like, dude, are you serious? Like, it may not have been the, at all the wisest choice to at the lowest level possible, just be like, dude, I am not going to sit here and do anything but make sure we're good. You're safe. Stop, please. All right. If we're, dude. But whoa, man, if I didn't learn enough from all the other guys talking about stuff like that, wow, I was a fucking dense guy that needed some extra training. And I got it in a very, very accelerated way. I'm still this guy that might be good at sounding like he can talk about some stuff, but also seems so challenging in ways that fucking you can't fathom how you're hearing somebody speak intelligently and somehow you missed the mark there. And I apologize. Like, I really am that challenged in some areas, dude. I'm thankful for my gifts, but I'm also thankful for the people that recognize that they're not all over the fucking board. Like, I would say that I probably could have been assessed for some kind of like Asperger's or something like that when I was growing up. But my mom was very concerned with making sure we were normal when I'm already growing up in a family with deaf adults. And so like things like not shutting up is a thing I do naturally. And I'm not suggesting it's a great idea all the time. But if you've got people that are talking about fighting you outside and you don't even know it, you're just feeling the vibe, that's enough for me to freaking start talking about how this is understood. I'm praying for people. I'm getting looked at like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Apparently I know what you're looking at now and why it was such an issue. And I get some guy talking to me yesterday morning, like, he's having all kinds of emotional issues about it. He might have to freaking go blow a gasket or something. Like, if anyone has any business, like, he was pretty sure to be that guy or one of his friends. He's fucking having to step out and probably smoke 20 cigarettes and fucking talk to everybody on the phone about it just to make sure they're as mad as hell about it as fucking he was. Good to go. God bless America. Wow. Thanks for supporting your guy, man. Is there anybody else we need support first? No, I'm not saying, like, again, we can crack this all the way open and say, Whoa, dude. Yeah, whoa, dude. But if you don't make sure you get before you want to sit here and talk a fucking rah-rah, this, that, and the other thing, man, wow. Dude, I'll put in a word for God for you if I get there. Like, but this ain't cool, man. And that's all I got. I'm singing some songs, dude, but if y'all don't get it, man, I might just try to remind people that it's real. I might just retweet a couple of things, dude, but I don't have anything else to say. Like, I honestly didn't know it was like that. I understand I needed some help with some things. I thought I might actually have a chance of getting before it was too late in the day. I even went to a civilian institution that no business fucking helping me or trying. And I knew I was gonna fucking hate going to just to see if I could get on the fucking on the record as having started to do something for myself. You know, and I could also have been a fucking guy that walked in a fucking meeting and just started going, even though, like, I don't have a driver's license, I don't have a fucking, like, somebody would probably pick me up. But when I'm feeling like I don't want to get people knowing too much of my story, even though it's anonymous and all that, yeah. When I got trust issues already, and being honest didn't work out for me. It's just it's, you know, it's not always a part of my trauma, but it's definitely a part of whether I want to do that again. I hate to say it because I'll be the most honest person you ever met. And if you don't follow them, loving me before you fry me, I think there's something wrong with you. So thanks for listening.